Okay, so now you know about my first injury in 2007, the injury to my spine and the broken off piece of disc that sat on my spinal cord. Then my second injury in 2019, where my Achilles tendon was severed by a stingray. And then in 2020, whilst working again at Peninsula Health, I had a group of patients that required a lot of support, and I didn't get much support during that shift, and that in turn left me in a position trying to maneuver curtains, just basic screen curtains, around a patient to give them privacy. And I tore a rotator cuff in my right shoulder and bulged a disc at C7. I was asked by a surgeon about having surgery to my neck, more spinal surgery, to alleviate the deficits that I had in my arm and hand, as the consequence of this injury left me with little to no function in my right hand. At this point, I was not going to have any more spinal surgery. I knew that if I was to have more surgery, that it would flare up the complex regional pain syndrome that I spoke about, which you'll hear more about as I go further. So I chose to manage it conservatively with some steroid injections into the neck and the shoulder, and even some medication using anti-inflammatories and tapentadol. So that was a couple of years ago, and then now I'll tell you what happened after or during that whole incident. So it impacted not just me, but my partner's life as well. This is very difficult for me to talk about, so I will just do it briefly. But I separated from my partner because we were struggling to communicate after my injuries and the stress that it put on me. He also had his own personal problems with the loss of his children, that his ex-partner never allowed him to see them. He suffered silently with depression, and I was not aware of the severity of this. His family was not aware of the severity of this. He did a very good job at hiding it. In June 2021, he took his own life. He did it in a significantly brutal manner at my front door, begging for me to save his life. He actually took one of his father's guns that had been locked up, and he told his family that he was going to go rabbit shooting, and instead he came to my front door and pleaded to save his life. I saw him grab the gun out of his car, and then I ran and hid into the back of my unit with my dog, thinking he was coming to kill me as well as himself, or I actually didn't really know what he was going to do. So I sat there on the phone to the police, frightened out of my wits, and then the gunshot went off. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do for him, which was the hardest day of my life, to sit there and see what I saw. And I've had to learn to deal with severe PTSD post this incident. I've been in denial for a long time about his death. And it just breaks my heart. I miss him so much. Sorry. So this is my story, and I have chosen to share this with others to hopefully help people through chronic and complex pain, and even help people suffering from mental illness and trauma that they may have been through. It might even help people who have lost loved ones in either a tragic manner or just lost loved ones. life's not easy. You hear that all the time. People say it everywhere. But I still have my beautiful horse, my 3 beautiful Bernese mountain dogs, and I'm lucky enough to still be able to work and function. Some people can't, and that's not a reflection of me not caring. It's a reflection of the strength that I've had to learn to have, which has not been easy. I've had the support of psychiatry, psychology, and my physio, who have all been wonderful. So this is my story, and I hope that I can help even just one person. Thank you.